Good morning, students. Today we are going to read the poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. This well-known poem about making choices and the choice that shapes us is written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost is an American poet who writes simply but insightfully. There is an in-depth meaning in his poetry, in his writings. So this poem, The Road Not Taken, is a symbolic poem. Symbolic poem means the poet compares the life to the road. As we have to make choices in our life, so do we have to make choices while traveling. Suppose we are walking on a path and all of a sudden two paths emerges, we have to make a choice which road to take, the first one or the other. Because being alone, you cannot travel both the roads simultaneously. So the poet says that one day he was standing in a yellow wood. Wood means a small forest, and yellow because it is autumn season and the leaves have dropped down. So he was standing in the forest, he had walked a particular distance and then he had to take one road. He sees two roads. One road, the first one is less grassy because many people had travelled on this road, and the other road was grassy. This means that lesser people had travelled on this road. So first the poet sees the first road and thinks about all the advantages and disadvantages of travelling on this road. But after seeing to a particular distance, he cannot see the road further on because the road is covered with the overgrowth of the bushes. That means in life also, you cannot predict what would happen in years to come. You may predict a future for a day, a week, a month, or to say a year, but not beyond that, because circumstances decide what would happen next. So the poet, one fine day, he was standing at the divergence of the road, and that day he finds that both the roads are equally green. So the first road is also green that day, the second road is also green, because no foot has trodden black. That means no one had travelled on the roads on that particular day and the leaves were green. They did not turn black. So this shows that he had an equal opportunity of travelling both the roads, and there was no reason that why he should go for first or the second. The only one reason that comes to his mind is that the second road is less travelled by, so as he is adventurous, he thinks that I should take the second road. So he decides to walk on the second road, and while walking on the second road, he thinks that he would take the first road some other day. And while walking, he also knows that he can never go on the first road because one way leads to another way. One path leads to another path, and it would be difficult to come back in the initial point and then take the second road. As in life, if you make a choice and thereafter if you want to return back and then restart your life, there would be hurdles you would be facing. So the poet, he moves on the second road, and finally he reaches a point and then he finds that the second road is also less grassy. That means people have travelled on that road also. Now, at that point of time, he thinks with a sigh. Sigh is an expression of deep breathing and feeling. It can be happiness or it can be sadness. Suppose the poet had made something out of his life, he is very successful, he would be saying with a feeling of happiness, hooray, or wow, I have made I have been successful in my life. And suppose he did not do well, he had turned out to be failure, he would be saying it with a sigh. That means saying in sadness that, oh, I am unsuccessful because of the choice that I have made that day. So either you are successful or unsuccessful, you would be saying this, you would be putting it on the choice that you have made that day. Right, students? So the poet says that the choices that we make in our life are very important. We have to think on it and we need to work on the field that we have selected and be successful in our life. So the poem, The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost, is a wonderful poem that reflects on the dilemma that one faces while making a choice. Students, your homework is enlist the points that affect one's choice making. Thank you.